Hello, welcome to our day 14th on our journey, the 30 tips to starting your year the right way. In fact, what we're talking about today is so important that I'm going to keep it until after all the announcements. In fact, I just did a broadcast now where I told people join this live and find out how the fact that you have almost been programmed for poverty except you do some of the things we're going to be sharing this morning. So while we await the release of the tip for today, like we always do it, we allow you to scroll under, but I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to go ahead and quickly run through our announcements before we come back to talk about the tip. Like we always do, we have various products and services, but please go ahead and subscribe to this YouTube channel. It has a lot in store for you. It has a lot in store. Like I shared yesterday, there will most likely be something dropping on this YouTube channel every day of the year 2021. That's something we are telling ourselves we want to do. So we are actually every day coming up with strategies to make sure that we keep giving you value. It's very important to us. Like we said yesterday, our core focus right now is how to help people take advantage of the Tony Elumelu Foundation program of $5,000 grants. It's an opportunity every African must aspire to take advantage of. Beyond the 5,000 naira grant, which seems to become like the key brand, there are a lot of opportunity. There are networking opportunity, there are access to more funding opportunity. There is a marketplace where you can sell your product and services to the entire Africa continent by just becoming a member of that program. It's important. It's something we have done for ourselves. We've done it for others, and we are willing, and much more than willing, we are able to do the same for you. So next on our announcement is the 3 books that are currently already making wave and altering the trajectory for a lot of businesses. For instance, even the Tony Elumelu application that we're talking about, people come to us with diverse ideas. A book has been written to answer some of those questions that we have. What kind of idea will really, really thrive? What kind of idea? It's not all ideas that are profitable. I've said it over and over. Not all ideas will be profitable. You're either going to decide to find out about the ideas that are profitable before you start, or you're going to find out after years of wasted energy, resources, and time. So what we have put in this book is to help you find out through some key parameters that have proven itself to be effective, to know whether or not this idea is really, really worth pursuing. This book will help you save that time, that energy, that resources. So when you hit, you're hitting right and you're hitting big. The next book talks about how to take this idea after validation to the market to be sure that this idea is really, really needed by the market, to be sure that as I hit, I start beginning to end because the idea went through the right process. And the final one talks about how to raise funding for your ideas. So it's a combo that I recommend for anybody who really, really wish to make the best of his business in 2021. That the other opportunity we're talking about here is the opportunity to become a member of the Trescaro tribe. The Trescaro tribe is a group of people who think differently, act differently, and earn totally differently. The link to joining this group is out there. Lots of opportunities. I'm not going to spend so much time talking about them because of time, because what we're going to be talking about today is going to also take some of our time. That is that. Then finally, we just did a training recently on how to sell tons and tons of your products and services. The replay is out for you to purchase. Follow through the link there and be able to get the replay. Now we are ready to unveil the tip for today. The tip for today is identify your money scripts. Identify your money scripts. When we ask what is money scripts, money scripts are those unwritten laws that are practically determining the realities of your financial life today. Your current financial status is an okay, no. Let's define money script first. Where is this definition I put here? Okay. Why is it not showing? Sorry, something is wrong somewhere. Something is wrong somewhere. Oh, it was made to scroll. It was not supposed to scroll. Sorry, let me change that. That's an error. Sorry about that. Okay, it was scrolling. It shouldn't be scrolling. Okay, money scripts are actually those unwritten rules dictating your financial life. Those unwritten rules that are dictating your financial life today are known as your money scripts. They are known as your money scripts. You know, sometimes you are wondering, how come despite all my effort, things seems not to be working? Despite all of my effort, things seems not to be working. Because there is a script that is playing in your head that is determining what you allow and what you disallow. You know, I think in our past 2, 3 days, we've been talking about the way the mind works. The way the mind works is the fact that the mind is a protective mechanism. Your mind works tirelessly to protect you. And for everything you do, especially as it relates to money, you are sending signals to your mind as to what you allow and what you disallow. I was sharing with a team of young people yesterday that even when you hear about giving, let us give 100,000 naira. Your first response is, they are not talking to me because I don't have that amount. Your mind keeps it. 100,000 is too big for this guy. Make sure you protect him from getting there. It's a danger zone for him. Your mind records it. You know, some of those language we used to hear from our parents as we were growing up, they are building our money scripts. They build our money scripts. They are unwritten, but they are actually dictating the financial life that we experience. They are actually dictating the financial life that we experience. Your current financial status is an open display of your current money scripts. If your financial status as of today is not what you want, just have it at the back of your mind that your money script needs some rejigging. Your money script needs to be tuned, and you have to be deliberate about that. Remember, when we talk about limiting belief, we talk about the fact that limiting beliefs creep into us even unconsciously. But for you to begin to work on empowering beliefs, you have to become deliberate. That's one thing I've come to realize about life. Negative things seems to happen to us, whether we are conscious or unconscious. But for the positive, you have to consciously go after it. So what we're doing today is to identify our money scripts. Once you identify your money scripts, you start to work on altering them. Your life result mirrors a lot about the intangibles in your life. Your money script is one of such intangibles that are in your life. You know, if you don't like what you are, somebody said, if you don't like what you are going through, what you're getting, the results you're getting, beyond praying about it, begin to act to change it. You know, I always say that prayer is foundational. When you pray, prayer is a dialogue. When you pray, God tells you what to do. It is in the doing of what God has told you to do that changes begin to come. So let's reason this together. Where does your money script come from? Where does your money script come from? Like every other intangibles, our beliefs, the software that powers our life, they are formed from our dominant environments. your money scripts, your limiting belief, your empowering beliefs, your major mindset that runs your life, they all creep into you by the environment that dominates your life. By the environment that dominates your life. Sorry, it's actually our 14th tip. Okay. By the environment that dominates your life. Your money script comes from the dominant environment over your life. You know, the attitude about money formed through childhood experiences, parent stories, and struggles continue to influence people into adulthood. You know, your parents get you seated, they begin to tell you how they struggle all through their time, how things were tough and all of that. You know, their intention is not to make you go through the same thing. You know, but all of those things becomes their first response whenever you talk about money. That's why that book, The Rich Dad and the Poor Dad, sold the way it did. Because part of the emphasis of that book is the fact that the rich learns about money at home and the poor learns about what they need to know about money at home. And the question is, what does a poor father have to teach a child? He will teach the child the poor strategies that has worked for him, even though he's unconscious, but that is the reality. So that environment cultures us. And one of the other things you must know is that money is actually a part of culture. You know, we say culture is the way of life of a people. Culture is the way of life of a people. The way a people react or respond to money is a part of their culture. That's why it looks like some people are perpetually poor, and that poverty is transferred from generation to generation until someone comes in with a totally different mindset to break the jinx and begin to operate totally differently. Totally differently. So understand that our cultural environment influences our financial attitude as well. Your cultural environment influences our financial attitude. So we're going to be looking at four basic money scripts. Four basic money scripts that we all have. You are either having one of these four basic money scripts. The first one is money avoidance. You know, money avoidance. This is well driven into our consciousness by our religious organizations. Sometimes those who avoid money believe that they do not deserve or they fear the danger of having it. Some feel like we always say in our religious environment, money is the root of all evil. So for anybody who can connect money to evil, the person naturally avoids money because it is natural for people to want to avoid evil. You don't, either way, either whatever reason for which you are avoiding money, the end result of that is that you have very low income and net worth rather. So money avoidance is one very fundamental money script that people have. The next is money worship. You know, for those of us in the religious environment, in our churches and mosques and all of that, part of the reason why we tilt towards money avoidance is because we're trying to avoid money worship. There are people who believe that an increase in income or a windfall will solve all their life problems. They see money as the key to their life. So everything about them is money, money, money. Such people have issues. They end up worshiping money. Shagun, thank you. They end up worshiping money. That is also an extreme. But the problem here is in an attempt to avoid one extreme, we should not end up in another extreme of money avoidance. Then the third among these money script is money status. There are people who believe that what they have determine who they are. Those are people that they can even go into debt to buy cars. They can go into debt to buy material things to show off. It's another very, very negative disposition to money. They believe that money is the most important thing. With it, I can show to be even who I am not. So that's another extreme view to money. But the final one is money vigilance. Money vigilance. These people, they keep tab on the movement of their money. They study money and the strategies for earning, for managing, for multiplying, for investing, and keeping money. They study all of those strategies. This is the fourth manuscript, and this is where we all must be. This is where we all must be. This is where we all must be to be balanced. Don't fall in the place of money avoidance, neither will you fall in the place of money worship. Both of them are two evil of the same coin. Never avoid money, neither do you worship money. And also, don't see money as something that determines your status. You are who you are, irrespective of what you have. The Bible says man is not made up of the material things he has. I'm paraphrasing now. So in conclusion, my message to us is that you must be money vigilant. Nobody becomes wealthy by mistake. If you become wealthy by mistake, the wealth will disappear after a while. Nobody becomes wealthy by mistake. Everybody who ends up in wealth worked their way into it. Such people are money vigilant. They are money vigilant. So you must be money vigilant. So before we leave you today, like we always do it, we are going to share action points. What are the action points you must take? What are the decisions you must take? Because we are not out here to fuel your bag of knowledge. We want you to be able to take action so that your life will reflect the changes that you really desire. So this is it. Try to remember the dominant words about money in your home as a child. Go back, think about it, and write it down. Then take a deep breath. Think through your key disposition about money from the 4 categories of money script we have shared. Think through and write down, where do I actually belong? Am I in the place of money avoidance? Am I in the place of money worship? Am I in the place of money as my status, or am I actually money vigilant? Write it down. And if you find yourself in one of those negative dispositions to money, then write down the steps you will take to become money vigilant, because this is where we all must be. We all need to end up becoming money vigilant. Truth is, your life will not attract whatsoever you are not conscious of, except negative things. The only thing our life ever attracts that we are not conscious of are only negative things. For the positive things, there is some level of intentionality required for us to really enjoy positive things in life. I think with this, we've come to the end of today's broadcast. But before I leave you, I always share with you opportunities that can bless and empower your business. Take any of these 3 books, it will transform the way you do business. It will alter your trajectory, and it will determine a lot for you at the end of 2021. Then join the Trescaro tribe. People here think differently. We pray about the country, but we are not afraid of the challenges. In fact, we thrive on the challenges, just like eagles are not afraid of the wind. Just like the wind destroying everything but causes eagles to soar. So members of the Trescaro tribe thrive irrespective of the circumstances and situation. We just do what we have to do to understand the circumstance. and work with it to take us to the top. If you were not around for the Sell-a-thon Masterclass, if you have a product or a service that you must sell to tons and tons of people, you need to order for the replay of this session. If you transform all that you do in 2021, then finally, before you leave, please consider to subscribe to our YouTube channel and enable the bell so you get notified whenever we come online. We will be meeting here again tomorrow. Thank you very much for spending this time with us. Like we always say, we love you and we hope to be on your way tomorrow. Have a lovely day ahead of you. Have a great time of enjoyment. Make the best of your day. And I trust that your day will deliver for you what you want. Nobody become wealthy by mistake, and that is the reality. Nobody becomes wealthy by mistake. You must be deliberate. That's why we advocate the issue of money vigilance. Thank you, Shegun. Do have a great day. For those of you who will come watch this later on, have a lovely time rest. Have a lovely engagement with this video. Share with as many as possible. Get so many people to watch this because I truly believe that our environment seems to have programmed us for poverty, except we are deliberate about doing something about it. And that is why we do what we do, because we must liberate our minds. Thank you and have a blessed day ahead of you. Bye bye.